Today I went looking for treasure. Not gold, not diamonds, canned wheat. The 1969 album by the Guess Who. And I had decided it was already mine. Well, sort of. Yesterday I started looking for this album around the Comox Valley. And normally when I'm looking for something, there's a certain feeling that goes along with it. Where is it? Who has it? Am I going to find it? But lately I've been experimenting with something different. What if I stopped looking for it and just went to get it? So I went into the Lake Trail thrift store with a completely different attitude. Of course canned wheat is out there. Of course I'm going to find it. I'm not desperately searching for anything. I'm just going to pick up an album that's already waiting for me. It wasn't there. Apparently the universe hadn't received the memo. So today I continued the experiment. First stop, Value Village. And I tried to keep exactly the same attitude. No pressure, no disappointment, no wondering whether this was going to work. Just, of course, it's here. Let's go see where they put it. There's something rather fun about walking into a thrift store looking for one particular record, because you really have no idea what's waiting in those bins. Somebody else's entire musical history may be sitting there for $2.99. And somewhere among all of it, maybe there's your canned wheat. So I started looking. And looking. And looking. One stack. Another stack. And another. There were plenty of records, just not the record. And this is where confidence meets reality. Because no matter how strongly you walk into Value Village thinking, of course it's here, you still have to look through every Nana Muscori album to find out. Still, I wasn't frustrated. That was the interesting part. I wasn't trying to force anything to happen. I was just having fun seeing what was there. And eventually I reached the final stack. No canned wheat. So I walked back out, empty-handed. Or maybe not completely empty-handed, because I was beginning to notice that searching this way felt different. Next stop, the Salvation Army on Ryan Road. Surely canned wheat was here. And once again, I wasn't going in hoping to find it. At least that was the experiment. I was going in to see where my album was hiding. And so we begin again. Record after record. Somebody bought every one of these. Somebody took them home. Somebody played them. And somehow, years later, they ended up here. Which means canned wheat could end up here too. Just apparently not today. So I walked out of the second thrift store of the day without it. 3 thrift stores over 2 days. A ridiculous number of records, and still no canned wheat. But here's the strange thing. I had a really good time. Because instead of making the album something I needed to find, I treated the whole thing like a game. Of course it's out there. Of course I'll find it eventually. Today I'm just going to see if this is where it happens. And then when it wasn't there, nothing had gone wrong. And maybe that's what I've been trying to understand lately. Maybe living as though something is already yours doesn't mean pretending reality is something it isn't. I don't have canned wheat. I looked. Trust me, it's not hiding under my coat. Maybe it's simply dropping that feeling that something is missing. Instead of, I need to find this, it becomes, I'll find it. And suddenly the search itself becomes part of the fun. Maybe that's true of records. And maybe it's true of some bigger things too. So no, I didn't find canned wheat today. But somewhere in the Comox Valley, or maybe a little farther down the road, there's a copy with my name on it. At least, that's how I'm choosing to play this. And I've got a funny feeling I'm going to find it.